what I've heard said, what I've read on the internet, and not in like scary parts of the internet, but like mainstream media, is that he may or may not have access to like close to $1 trillion, and they think that he's like funneled like hundreds of millions and billions of dollars, perhaps, into shady places where he can access it after he's out of power, and that his biggest thing right now is who do I leave in power behind me that doesn't immediately come and take everything I have from me? Like that's got to be the only thing that he cares about, right?
It seems like it's not truly fair to include him in that richest talk, though.
Okay,
because
well then include the Saudi Arabians because they're a royal family, and they're like Game of Thrones royal family. Cersei Lannister has access to as much of that gold as she says she does. If she says bring me a pile of it as tall as the mountain, they'll just fucking do it because it's all hers technically. And in the same regard, these Saudi princes, they're all like cousins and nephews and uncles and aunts, but they're all have like access to the big pot. And I'm sure like, the higher ups are like, oh, your cap is 100 billion amid. No more spending. This is crazy. You tried to buy New Zealand. Like I'm sure some of that happens, but like there's definitely like a pretty endless supply of like funds there.
I feel like if you give credit to richness to people who use the political power to get rich, like then you would have to start including like there's probably a Kenyan warlord who, if you just talked about the extent of his reach with his child army, controlled like 100 billion or something just in like holding down crops and shit like that.
What crops? You've seen Kenya, right? Like what are they? But the reason they have the warlords is because there are no resources to lasso.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's totally fair.
We meant blood diamonds.
100 hectares of sand.
They grow blood diamonds. That's the crop in Kenya.
Yeah, and that's why you need the children.
Yeah, you need their little fingers to pick apart the iPhones.
No, it's their supple, malleable anuses to store the diamonds into. This is just like Rick and Morty.
That's not a part of the diamond trade, is it?
Well, is smart.
The seed? That's how they smuggle them out.
That's how, if you're a diamond miner, you put one up there and maybe you get out and like, because the diamond is worth like 1,000 days labor, I'm sure, right? But they're checking, and if they catch you, they beat you to death with shovels.
I've got enough stones in my asshole to get us to Germany. Come with me. We must get out of here. Just wait 1 second while I squat. I swear to God, there was more up there. Yeah.
Oh shit! Where's that hole?
Yeah. I mean, but if
That's
I were,
why
if
they
I were
call
a diamond
them
miner,
blood diamonds.
Oh.
No, it's not. They call them blood diamonds because they're like, oh, you didn't. You bring only 2 pounds of diamond to me today. That is the kind of rate that you get to walk home with one hand. How do you feel about this? Not good, I doubt.
That's not why they're called blood diamonds either. Apparently, part of the money goes to fund conflicts like Middle East and terror and stuff like that. That's what they say. But you know what? Bride to bees don't care about conflict.
It's slave labor, like mining diamonds to be sold. And part of it is they're not supposed to be selling those diamonds the way they're selling them. They're selling these diamonds illegally. And then, like you said, funneling that money back in and like buying a bunch of Russian armament so they can take over some other warlord's child army. I
watched some diamond thing. It was just a YouTube video, but it was going through like Canadian diamonds because apparently people who want to feel like they're not contributing to the blood diamond trade, they go, oh, I just buy Canadian diamonds, so I'm good to go. And this dude bought a bunch of northern Canadian diamonds and then took them to like diamond evaluating places or whatever with the certificate of authenticity to be like, hey, can you confirm for me real quick? This was mined out of Canada. And every single place he goes to, they're like, no, this isn't from Canada. We have no way of knowing exactly where this is from.
Yeah, sometimes they said it's not from Canada. Sometimes one of them even said this is a blood diamond, right? But oftentimes they were just like, oh, yeah, this certificate of authenticity, that doesn't prove that it's not a blood diamond. It just proves that it's a diamond.
Yeah, it's just like when people try to argue with me that the first episode of Rick and Morty is going to be episode 2 for some reason, and then link me to the fan wiki. I'm like, oh, okay. Now it says what I think. Like.
I've thought of a great thing to do. I've never gone to Burning Man, and it doesn't seem like my jam really. But if I did ever go, I would do the whip it thing where you buy a tank, but I would buy a tank of helium and put a GoPro on my chest and give it to people for free and see how many people I could dupe into pretending to be high, or people who just love or are addicted to whippets, and they're like, "Oh, thanks a lot, man. What did you even give me here?" It's like, I gave you helium, idiot. And that's an element that we're running out of. So this joke is expensive, in the long run.
There's a cap on that. Yeah, absolutely. Same thing with silver. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that we've mined like all the silver there is.
How can we know that?
I don't know.
That is a good point.
That's just the thing. That's the thing we don't get to know. We haven't even drilled through our own earth,
Yeah,
we got shit that we don't. We got valuable shit maybe that we don't even know about that we're like sitting right on top of.
Or stuff that we just don't know how to use yet. Like every time I hear like, "Oh, we're out of silver," or "We're out of oil," or "We found all the gold that it's not on asteroids," it's like, yeah, but like, who's deciding this? Like some dude who owns a fuck ton of gold, and he's like, all right, that's enough. I think we found all the gold.
If there's anything I've learned from reality TV, there's still more gold out there.
Yes, little tiny flakes to be hunted by toothless men in Oregon.
Alaska, yeah, but I'm very into it. I
who
can't
have to
get enough.
subsidize their gold business by bringing a TV crew in.
That is also true. But there are other people who aren't subsidizing their business, they say.
Yeah, those guys are going out of business, though, right? I guarantee the guys who don't have a TV crew to watch them sit there and like dig for gold, they're like, "Fuck, there's no way to make it in the actual gold business. You gotta have an audience for this shit. This is performance art. This is not real mining." Like,
I'm a seventh generation gold miner, and my family probably should have stopped this about 4 generations ago. Yeah. Got into plumbing or something. Yeah, that would have been much better than like, hunting for gold. Can you imagine like going to a bar in a local area there, and you're all dirty, and you got shiny tipped fingers or whatever, and you have to explain to a girl like, "Oh no, I hunt for gold for a living." Like, how long are those conversations going to go? Well, are you good at it? Well, I just ordered a Bud Select because they're $2, so no.
Wait, why does he have shiny tipped fingers in this scenario?
Because he's been poking around gold dust all day.
So you're saying his fingers are covered with gold?
Yeah, that's
He's
side
not
effect.
good at this?
Back in the olden days,
fingertip.
Back in olden days, they used to leave slits in the floor of those places so that when the people who mined went in, they'd obviously have gold little tiny flecks stuck on them. They'd sit down to drink, and the little flecks would fall through the floor into pans or dishes, and then the owners or the proprietors, because it's olden days, of the bars would go under there and get it. So that's a real thing.
The other thing that they would do is like you would pay for one thing, like a shave, or you would pay for a whore, and free, like along with that, would be like a shower. Like they would give, like wash your hair or whatever. And they're like, "Oh, well, I get a whore for $1 and I get a bath for free. I'm sold." But they were really like baiting these guys to collect the gold dust from their hair. So they're, collecting that out of there. But you're right. The slits in the floorboard thing was totally true too, because they would pay with pinches of gold dust. And, there's no way to like not spill a little every time you buy something with a pinch of fucking gold dust. Can you imagine if like that was our mode of currency today?
You know what's funny? Is like, imagine like you use gold and like that's it, and like you just have a ton of gold and it's like a big deal to you, and you manage to find a ton of it, and eventually someone explains to you that they're going to take it and hold it, and in exchange you get paper, but trust us that like this paper is equal to your gold. We promise that your gold is equal to this paper, and this paper you could use it everywhere. Trust us. Like, and everyone's part of this. Everyone agrees it's good. So just put your gold in here. We'll hold that, and you take this paper here.
Then why can I just keep the gold, Mr. Banker?
And then eventually
it's
they
actually,
say, you know what? The gold thing's gone. It's just paper based now.
Not too long ago,
that's what people say. You got it.
Some guys found like some Spanish doubloons or something off the coast of Florida in like waist deep water or something like that. And I don't remember the figures, but it was like $20 million worth of gold or some shit. And they immediately go to the government and they're like, "Oh, we found this here. U.S. government, you take your cut. Spanish government," and for some reason gets their cut, even though they stole it from the Mayans or the Inca or some shit. Like, right? They just raped the whole civilization to steal that gold.
There's no Mayan government left.
Right? They'd want their cut too, but fuck them. No Mexico, you get nothing. So they got to, but in the end, they're keeping like 30% of their money. I was like, why the fuck did they not? Who cares if it's a doubloon or whatever? Melt that shit down and go to one of those cash for gold places, right? Like, just cut all of those people out and keep it all yourself.
Definitely don't go to cash for gold.
Not literally cash for gold, but there are markets where you can go and sell little bars of gold and shit.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I mean, it's baffling to me that they would find doubloons and then go to the government on their own and say, "Hey, we want to give you your cut." It's like, no, they didn't. They didn't know those doubloons were there. They weren't searching for it.
Did they get
didn't
a cut or did
fund
they
your
get
expedition.
taxes on the income?
The Spanish got a cut. I don't remember
Yeah.
what percentage the U.S. government got or how it was justified, but it was a lot of money that, and it didn't seem like it was just straight up taxes. It's been a while. I don't know.
If it's straight up taxes, then I'm kind of on board because like living a
I am
life
not.
of
Shit.
like tax evasion and like hoping you don't get like there's a lot of you don't want that. And
but
the
come
U.S.
on now,
government will
just fix
destroy
that.
you. The U.S.
But
like,
if you find $20 on the ground, you got to report that. Like you found it,
well,
you
you're
didn't
talking about
earn it.
20. If you find 20 million on the ground, then dude, kick the government their 8 or something, and then
For what?
For what?
And what?
Oh, what you
So-
get in
so-
exchange for that are restful, sleepy nights for the rest of your life.
That's
You
not what
never
I
go to
mean.
prison.
No. See, Woody's right as far as like I'd rather have $3 million or $4 million and know that I'm safe and secure and that nobody's going to be kicking my door down than have 20 million and be waking up every night sweaty like, oh shit, are my doubloons safe? Like I wouldn't want to do
felt
that.
the
But
doubloons.
the point is to Kyle's point, which I think what you're saying is the fact that you have to pay taxes on buried treasure that you find is an abomination. That's a big middle finger to every single person's childhood in the world. Like that you have to, if you find never did Captain Planet find treasure and go, ha ha, let's talk to the government. You know, no, you just keep it.
I'm pretty sure, like where I live, Quebec, Canada, if gambling isn't your means of income, like if you're not like a professional poker player, then your winnings, lottery, and whatnot are not taxable. So in the reverse, in Canada, if you find, I'm pretty sure it probably is under a similar thing that like, you wouldn't get taxed on coming across treasure. And yeah.
In the U.S.,
Wow.
you do get taxes. It doesn't have to be your primary income, but
if you win, I think if you win even in Vegas and you're from Montreal, I think you can get your taxes back. Like or Quebec would get a certain amount of it back for you, even if you got taxed, gambling abroad.
See, I don't like or wait, you mean Quebec would fund it and take care of it, or they would like bother the U.S. to make them give the money back?
On the in the airport terminal on my way home, it was just like, did you win in Vegas? Contact a Quebec lawyer. You don't have to pay taxes on your winnings.
Oh, nice.
Huh.
Whole
I wonder
racket
if
around that.
Americans go to Quebec and gamble, do we have to pay taxes there?
No, you always. I learned something. You're American, you pay. You always, no matter where you go, no matter what you identify as, no matter what country you end up in, you pay.
So
this isn't fair.
I can't easily Google the Harley thing on Canada, but in the U.S., if you win $1,200, they report you to the IRS and you'll pay on that. So there it is.
So anything under 1,200 is good.
Okay, this is an area I happen to know a bit about taxes. If you win $1, you're supposed to report that, but at 1,200, they make it so the IRS can check on you, and you have to report it, otherwise you'll get caught.
Man, that's like, and that seems like a really small amount.
Doesn't it?
To have, I mean, I've never gambled. But
Sam
I don't
wants
really
his
gamble,
cut.
so I don't care either way.
I thought
But
it was going to be
1,200.
600. 600 is like the 1099 limit. Like if you earn money through independent, it's 600. So that's what I expected it to be, but I just Googled it.
It's 400 in Missouri.
Really?
If it's yeah, they really need that money, I guess.
Well,
Really-
$400 goes a long way in Missouri.
in certain parts, it does. Yeah.
Well, now that we're on tax code,
Now that we're on
I'm
tax
really glad we headed. I took it in this direction. I
Guys,
had to
fuck
get the
Game of
facts out
Thrones.
there.
Let's talk about taxes. We've got 3.5 hours.
I know you want a Game of Thrones talk, but I haven't even talked about the IRS class life of farm animals yet.
What is your guys' prediction for this Irma hurricane? Is it going to be just
man.
as devastating as
More.
Harvey, or is it going to be worse?
Ooh, I don't know if
Or is it going to like peel off, kind of like what was that one that did a couple years ago that everybody thought was going to crush Florida, and it just kind of like
you're not thinking
just
of
like
Sandy
barely.
that ended up hitting New York and New Jersey, are you?
I might be, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I might be thinking of Sandy because I don't think that hit Florida.
So
But
Irma-
what do you
just-
guys think?
Irma is
You just
currently
see
the
that, like-
most powerful storm ever measured in the Caribbean. I don't know if it's going to be the most powerful at the time it impacts, but I've been watching. So I have some free time. I've been watching these like hurricane models like all day. They start off like spider webs headed everywhere. Some are in the Gulf. Some say it's going to hit Maine. You know, like it goes all over the place. And then as time comes, they constrict and like all the models start agreeing with each other. And almost everything seems to say right now that it's slamming into Miami, skirting up the coast, and then hitting like Georgia, South Carolina area. Like that's there's a concentration in there. So
Yeah.
last one that hit Miami hard was Matthew, I think. It killed a bunch of people, and it was the most devastating storm for like until Katrina came along. Like it was a really big deal.
I don't think a lot of people are going to die in Florida because with the whole thing in Houston, everybody gets it. It seems like now you always see those people in Florida who are like, I'm not going anywhere. Nothing ever happens. They always blow these things out of proportion. And Rush Limbaugh, he informed me about this. It's all fake news anyway.
Alex
I'm
Jones
sitting here
too.
holding tight. I mean, maybe they're onto something. You never know. But I don't think that a lot of people are going to die in Florida. But I think there's going to be some significant property damage down there, especially on the Keys. It's going to fucking hit them at 175 mile an hour winds, and it looks like it's
so
going to slam
ridiculous.
into either Augusta, from Augusta to Myrtle Beach, are just getting fucking slammed. They're not Augusta, Savannah. They're evacuating Savannah, Georgia, and it looks like it's going to dump a shitload of rain on us. I keep using Ventusky, and I switch over to precipitation to see what I'm going to get. And there's these massive bands of dark red predicted to like sweep over the state. It's going to be eventful, but I'm hoping, you always do that. Not that many people die. I saw there was already half a dozen or so deaths in those islands, and we don't even know what happened in like Haiti. Like do they even count them down there? Like,
I
it's gonna
mean,
be
like
rough.
it's
I
usually so
always-
devastating in Haiti. They don't even know the count because it just trucks right over it.
You know how they retire the hurricane's name if people die? Maybe at least a couple.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. So there'll never be another Hurricane Irma now that it's killed someone. There'll never be another Hurricane Harvey. They'll just find some other Harry or something. And whenever that happens, like when someone dies, I'm like, did we lose a good name? Irma? Nah, fuck Irma. That's a stupid name. I'm glad it's retired. It'll save us.
But
from
then
that.
you get like Hurricane Edwin, and everybody's fine. You're like, God damn it! Like,
Might only want-
Hurricane Xerxes come through next
Yeah,
time.
I wonder who has
or
the
something.
longest streak. Which name has the longest, like the most returns? Like, Hurricane Steve is back. Never
bitch
does
made.
any damage.
I bet it's
Yeah.
So they
Bitch made Steve's coming back around. He don't do shit.
probably everyone
Hurricane
knows
Steve,
this. They go.
he's a 0.8, a category 0.8.
They're named alphabetically, and it goes boy, girl, and then the next year it switches it and goes girl, boy.
Who came up with this tradition? Like
An
such
Australian scientist, right? And at first, nobody wanted to adopt it, so he started naming the hurricanes after the politicians who opposed him until everybody got on
Did you
board.
make that? I didn't know that part.
No, that's the truth.
See,
Is it
marketing
really? 'Cause
ideas
you
like
don't-
that.
There you go. You learn something new every day.
Well, I think you're going to Google it whether I say yes or no. So
I just want to know. Kyle tricks me on this.
it
show
was
constantly.
actually an Eisenhower jobs program. They just picked someone to start naming hurricanes.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I'm in Florida now. This is 87 when I go down, I get married, and then I go down to Florida 6 months later, open a pizzeria, a fucking Lenny's pizzeria. I end up burning the whole plaza down. I didn't like pizzas, but no, not on purpose. It was a thing. I was doing hot diamonds in the day. I remember I had a good pizzeria, and fucking people would come in for a pizza on a Friday. I said, "Get the fuck out of here! What do you think this is? It's a pizzeria, you know." No, I fucking was doing hot diamonds, so it really became a front.
I don't know what that means.
A stolen diamond.
Stolen diamonds, right?
Oh,
you can see Taylor come from the shitty neighborhood.
From a blood diamond neighborhood. That's
Oh,
the only way we
no.
made. That's the only way we
South
made.
You know,
Africa.
that's such bullshit, dude. That's another fucking
Really?
made up crap from the U.S. Just like the bullshit that the fucking U.S. has with this live golf because of Shikogi. They don't want to deal with Saudi Arabia. Get the fuck out of here. All these fucking people on fucking. Listen, United States, love my country. But we came to this country and wiped out a whole fucking a race of people to take over. Now, in God we trust, we're these pure people. Get the fuck out of here. Doesn't mean I don't love my country.
How does the fence do his job? Like, obviously, he takes the diamonds in and gives you cash, but like, what does he? He doesn't sell the diamonds. Does he sell the diamonds to a jewelry store?
Absolutely, the fences are diamonds. The fences are usually jewelers themselves or something. I was telling you earlier, the jewelry business is so fucking crooked. You know, obviously, I can get into how diamonds go from De Beers in Africa and how you get to buyer and be all that kind of stuff. I went to the GIA Institute, which is a Gemological Institute of America. It cost me 10 grand under the table. There were 4 of us in it. But I went in that to learn about diamonds. I want to know about the qualities, the cuts, and what they mean, because I don't want to get fucking robbed. You know, it's like knowledge is fucking king in anything you do.
You can't trust fences.
Well, again, you got to trust yourself, man, because I know what's there. Now it's a haggle of the price, you know, and they're not going to haggle too much because I'm bringing them so much. You think he wants to lose me to even go look for another guy?
You're already giving him a stellar deal. It's hot goods, right? You know.
Well, he's getting the best deal. Nobody could ever buy his diamond cheaper than he could sell it because he's buying it for fucking nothing almost, you know. It depending on watches, you know, anything. He's making he couldn't buy it wholesale to sell retail like he can get from stealing, you know, 30,
right.
25%.
That's what I'm saying. So he's not going to get too. He's already getting this stuff 80% off. What's he need? 85%.
Right. And not
off?
only that, they don't want me to go to another guy and say, wait a minute, I'm a piss Larry. He's coming here every fucking twice, 2 times a year. Fucking, I'm making fucking. Now he gets his price. So if he buys it from me at, let's just say you said 20%, 30%, whatever number, he tacks on 15%, sells it, and he pieces it out. I actually found out a lot of my diamonds that I robbed went to California, and they were literally sold out in California. And it's funny because I thought later in years I should have just opened a store on Rodeo Drive, not give a fuck, put a fucking hot-looking broad behind the fucking counter, whether she knew what the fuck she was doing, and sell shit at fucking decent price, and fucking could have made a ton of money. Had Ryder did it, you know, could have did a lot of things. You can only do that with obviously common pieces. You couldn't do that with signature pieces. Anything that's made that's specifically for someone, it's a signature piece. They got to break it up and they got to make diamonds, brooches, whatever they're going to do out of it. You know, and that's important. But I think back after the fact, man, I should have just fucking kept it all, opened a fucking store, and I'd have fucking maybe became legit. Nah, never would have happened.
Wouldn't have worked out when you had to replenish your.
I had a question
inventory.
from earlier. So you said that you never heard anyone who wasn't in the game. That was part of your code. No kids, no like old people, or.
Well, we're going to define it here in a minute.
But you didn't say. You didn't say it, but I interpreted like no civilians, basically. You know, if they're not in the game, you're trying to not hurt them. Did you ever lose? You're in the game, right? Maybe someone else that like all I'm hearing about are your wins, right? The time you made a guy wrinkle free, the time you muscled here or there. You undefeated in this, or do you have any times?
No, I'm only defeated once, and that was by the federal government, and they fucking win. I never was shot or shot at. I've been in cars where somebody shot at somebody in the car and stuff of that nature, and I wasn't hit or anything like that. So as far as like and fighting, you know, we didn't fight. There was never fair fights. I mean,
there's somebody tougher than you out there. Right?
Absolutely, there was a guy around when I was around called Tommy Karate. That guy's got more bodies. He's probably on the internet. You can look him up, I'm sure.
Tommy Karate?
Yeah, Tommy Karate. That motherfucker.
Sounds like he works at birthday parties.
No,
Joey Karate.
they would kill him.
That's Joey Karate you're thinking.
No, they would kill him.
Look up Joey Karate.
Is he from Parks and Rec?
Oh, that is the guy from
I
Parks.
love that.
So this guy he's incarcerated now.
Tommy Pateri is his name.
Karate.
Pateri.
And he was like a big enforcer, and he's locked up now, or no?
Tommy Pateri is his name.
Is he alive?
I think so.
Okay, I'm sorry, Mr. Pateri.
No, there's a lot of guys. You're right, Woody. Obviously, I tell everybody that anything, whether it's fighting, whether it's, I used to tell you, listen, dude, if you think your broad is with you because you think you got a big dick, well, there's another guy with a bigger dick with more money.
you mind washing your hair and beard and hands a bit before we go for this little tussle in the hay, as it were? And they would, and then after a while, they would check the bottom of those basins, and you'd have gold, because every time those miners you'd offer a free shower and wash and everything because you collect the gold dust.
Oh man, that's a really good idea.
And
but how
what
much
the
gold dust
bar
is like
at the bar
is getting in their hair?
No, over time, there's tons. Because and at the bar, what they would do is like they would often pay with a pinch of gold, and they would put holes in the slats of the floorboard down there, and below would be a collection basin where like they'd go after a while and take the floorboards up, and there'd be a thing full of like gold dust back down there they had collected because they're paying with a pinch of gold or whatever.
That's a really good idea, man. These are good. These are things I did not know. But I also
I've been planning my old-timey whorehouse for a long time. Once we figure out time travel.
As they're like the health code guy is trying to tell Kyle, like, but sir, you need to have running water. You can't have them bathe out of a basin. You realize that's a huge violation. It's like, I'm very much into the time period piece of this, sir. Like, we're gonna do it my way. If a couple more cases of Hep C break out, it's worth it for the authenticity. My customers pay for authenticity.
Basin is necessary.
Yeah, I don't like that. It's in that show we watched with the Vikings, where. As like the I don't know if they actually did this in like Nordic societies or whatever, but all the Vikings like pre-battle or whatever are passing around like a big wooden bowl that's full like a basin basically full of water, and what they're doing is like they're taking some of it, like throwing it on their face, and then they go with both their nose and blow the snot out of both of their nose into the bowl, and then they pass it to another guy who puts some on his hands and then blows his snot into the bowl, and they're like, I'm watching this pass around, and I was like, is this real? Like, is this a real thing that these people used to do? Like,
I want to go first.
Like, yeah, you'd want to go first, and I didn't.
No, I'll fill the basin. No, I don't mind.
Or like it gets to you, and you're like, oh no.
There you go.
I've dropped
you
the
got a head
basin.
cold, huh?
It's fine, guys. I'll just refill it. Start over. Yeah, I wanted to see what that was, and I couldn't find anything online. But it was such a specific thing for like a historical show that I had a hard time believing that.
Now, are you talking about the Vikings on the History Channel, or are you talking about the fucking shithead from Bebenberg that we've been watching on Netflix, Last Kingdom?
I think this might have been
Vikings.
This might have been the show Vikings, because they kind of blended together for me. But I'm excited for the new Last Kingdom season.
Well, you're a year away, because season 2 had dropped when I sort of like bumped you guys into it. That was the brand new season.
Shit.
That's why I was excited. Yes, you got like a year.
Oh man, dude, that's pissing me off. The Netflix ratings, like it's beyond the pale propaganda of not propaganda, but it's beyond the pale like fakery. Like I'm looking through shit that I have never watched anything similar to it. I'm getting like 99% recommend Amy Schumer, 99% recommend Broad City, shows like that where it's like I've never watched any of these shows, and then I'll go to like a nature documentary and it'll be like, the wonderful world of snakes or some shit, and it's like 60%. It's like I've watched tons of shit about animals and snakes, and like it's just because you're trying to push me to watch your shitty comedy specials because you went, hey, this comedy thing's going really well with people like Bill Burr and Louis C.K. and David Tell or whatever. Let's multiply our budget by 10 and get 20 times as many comedians and get them all up once a week. And they're like, oh, that's a really good idea. That can't backfire at all. Let's go find all the best 100 comedians. And then they go find them, and they're not looking for quality comedy. They're looking for, let's look at our diversity meter. Do we have enough black people? Yes. Turns out a lot of good black comedians. We have enough women.
Version of this analysis.
No, this is absolutely
That's
true.
what's going on. It's such shit. They're pushing their agenda. Yeah, absolutely.
Specials. They're trying so hard to make it so they're good, because otherwise they'd have to admit, oh shit, we dumped a ton of money making Amy Schumer into someone most people don't like. Her comedy's not that good. But it's 500 videos on YouTube for stealing.
Couldn't it be that these algorithms say like, oh look, he really enjoyed Chappelle, he really enjoyed Bill Burr, he really enjoyed this guy. Maybe he'll like Amy Schumer. She's another big comedian.
That's what I would think. But then I see stuff from all the other categories where it's like, oh, this documentary on like psychological disorders or whatever, or like in serial killers or something, like the kind of stuff I'm interested in that I watch. It'll say like 62%.
Yeah,
and it's like this doesn't make sense. They're clearly trying to funnel you to those specials to get people to watch them, because most people are not. I guarantee it.
I preferred the star method, and I think someone was saying like, yeah, but then you see 2 stars and you don't watch it. And it's like, yeah, fucking exactly. I'm glad you're getting how rating systems work. It's so we don't have to watch shit. It's so the cream rises to the top. Like there isn't enough Amy Schumer haters to make her special have 2 stars unless it truly deserved 2 stars, and it did, right? Like we're not. Bill Burr doesn't have this issue. Let me find it. They cured something or found a better treatment for something. Let's see, Cuban medical advances.
Found a way to make a
Cuba has made
a fucking
3 medical
1957 Chevy transistor out of driftwood.
Make an iron lung out of like a 357
We got a 55
carburetor.
Bel Air to get 28 miles per gallon on grain alcohol. You want to talk about science? Come to Cuba. We've been rehousing those old Soviet missiles as grain silos. It says here Cuba has 3 major medical innovations that we may need. Patents in the sciences, conducting most of the world's clinical trials, and published the most biomedical research. What do they actually do, though?
I don't know, but there's 3 of them.
Yeah. More cancer treatments. That's number 1. A treatment for diabetic foot ulcers, apparently, and a treatment for advanced head and neck tumors.
Oh, speaking of oil, I saw that on two sides of the world, Putin is saying to the Europeans he'd like to be paid in rubles. They're saying no, the contract says euros, and he's saying, well, maybe you don't want any gas this year. He's talking about cutting the gas off. That's got to be a bluff. But over here, Biden is saying he's going to release 1 million barrels of oil a day from the strategic oil reserves, which seems to me like a drop in the bucket. I don't know how many barrels of oil the U.S. uses a day, but the number 40 million wouldn't fucking surprise me. Who knows?
Yeah, it's got to be an
the US
insane
makes
amount.
money on that. So, for people who know nothing about this is how it works. America has approximately 1 gazillion barrels of oil on stock at any given time. It's in case we go to war, but we also use it for oil price smoothing. So if the price of oil skyrockets like it has not in recent times, we let oil out, and that increases the supply, which in turn lowers the price. And then you would assume that we restock it when the price is low. So there's a bit of, I think it's called arbitrage. There's a bit of an arbitrage thing going on here where we buy low and sell high all the time. I wonder if not only are we doing kind of a public good by lowering oil prices when they're high, but also making money.
Is it to try and prevent or to undercut Russia forcing like Germany and shit to buy?
It's done all the time.
No.
Anytime the oil price goes too high.
Oh no, I meant like now. I don't know.
This is currently being done to lower gas prices at the pump. As soon as like all right, so just keep in mind the pump that's at the gas that's at the gas station right now, whatever he bought that at, he's going to sell it for that. They're doing some math up there. But whenever that's gone in like a week, 10 days at the most, the gas price should drop. They think in the nature of 10 to 35 cents per gallon.
Hopefully.
I haven't driven since this thing's happened. I've stayed in my little area, or I've let somebody else do the driving. Same tank of gas. Bought it for like 2 1/4.
That gas has been in there
2
for 9
1/4.
months.
You bought it in like 1985.
Gas is cheaper here. What's the cheapest gas price that you
$3.89 is the lowest I saw today.
No, that you can remember ever.
Oh, I remember when breaking $1 seemed expensive. I'm old.
I remember
Yeah,
80s.
I don't remember that.
When Racetrack came to Livonia, Georgia, and it was the first. It's one of the. It's
The
a
gas
modern
station?
It's a modern gas station with like 24 pumps or whatever, instead of like the small podunk towns have like 6 or 8 pumps or something. Anyway, whenever they came, I think they did some sort of like introductory rate, like lowered their gas artificially on purpose and lost some money, and it was 86 cents a gallon.
Whoa.
It's 86 cents a gallon for
Nice.
regular unleaded. And they sold like Pepsi products and like the cube, the 24 pack for $5.55. So like it was jam packed. Like there was a fair going on at the fucking gas station that weekend. So like after that, they just took everybody's business, and all the little stations went out of business, and then they put the prices where they belong.
Do you guys ever do that too? You're like, I kind of need gas, but this isn't the one I go to. I can make it home. Like that gas station's ever done anything to earn my
No, I got no brand loyalty with. I do like the people at my gas station, but I don't think I'm doing them a favor by like pumping their gas. I didn't think there was much of a margin on gas. I thought it was all about what's in the store.
I think so too. Yeah.
As far as they're concerned, they probably would be like, if you're just stopping for gas, keep it rolling.
I just pick whatever the nicest
the gas is
station
bait.
Yeah. You need the gas, but they want you to buy their food and their snacks and their overpriced drinks and all that stuff in there.
It makes money, just not as much as you think. Like you spend $70 and they're making $4 or something, but they probably do want your $4.
I wouldn't say I have any brand loyalty, but like if there's a mobile,
I'd be surprised if it's that much markup.
66, I'm always going to go to a Quick Trip because it's Quick Trip.
I bet the markup's only like a penny a gallon. Oh, Zach, help us. What's the markup on a gallon of gasoline at the store? I know there's like a bunch of state and federal tax that amounts to usually like 12 to 20 cents or something like that per gallon. But I just feel like the guy at the gas station, like at Chevron or whatever, he's only making like a penny.
15 cents.
15. That's shocking.
Okay, that's real money. Yeah.
Well, what is 20 times 15?
20 times 15 cents.
$3.
Yeah.
I was pretty close.
I'll take it. I'll take $3
Nailed
on that. That's approved. Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope it does help the price of gas. I have been. I'm going on a trip tomorrow. I'm going to do a lot of stuff, driving around, doing things. And
you taking the car or the motorcycle?
This will be a car trip, but I've been riding the bike a bunch. The weather's nice.
Me too.
But and then I want to go on a trip later in the year. I want to fly somewhere and do a thing. I've got some ideas, but like I don't know what are airline prices like right now. Has it like I
in January they were not high.
They're higher than normal now. Yeah.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, I was booking a flight recently, and it was more than usual.
Like, let's say the flight was normally $250. Now it's
$300, not $500 or anything.
See, that's not the end of the world, though. You know, but like I'm if I was going to go like on some kind of a vacation somewhere to some island that will have my criminal ass,
Hawaii, yeah.
No, I'm sure there's like some territories down there, the Dominican Republic or something like that. I just need to do a little research. One of those.
Okay.
But
Thailand seemed cool, according to a guest a few weeks ago.
I don't. Yeah, actually, it did sound cool.
Get into kickboxing?
I have no interest in the kickboxing.
Dude,
well, you have a huge interest in penis.
I mean, based on the WhatsApp conversation,
but big ones.
He likes
big ones. That's them little
you're gonna have to stay out of the Asian places. You're gonna have to go to Africa.
We're going. That's why we're going to the duck. I'm gonna have my own YouTube show, like Monster Hunters, where the guy was looking for the biggest fish across the world, and it's just cocks.
No, it's still called Monster Hunters.
It's still called Monster Hunters, but we're in Uganda and we ain't fishing.
Look at that.
Look at the girth of it alone. The yaw.
You've got a safari hat on. looking for dicks.
I'm sneaking into like African men's rooms.
You're like seeking financing from prestigious universities.
I'm all excited. Kyle, no, that's a rhinoceros.
And to drill that oil. Also saw Obama, cordoned off a lot of the Atlantic and Arctic drilling. That's probably a good thing.
In ways I don't understand, he did usually when you do an executive order, and Obama's done a lot of them, the next president can come in and just undo them all. Mm-hmm. But these latest anti-drilling things are different in ways that I hardly understand, and that it will be very difficult for Trump to undo. You've heard this?
I have heard it. He used some law or precedent from
law.
63 or 53, going back that far.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what the ramifications will be in the end, but I think I heard a Trump surrogate saying something like, "Hey, there's nothing we can't undo. I mean, you give us time, right? We'll figure it out."
I don't know how I feel about drilling off the East Coast.
It's way out there now. It's pretty far out there. It's a lot farther than the Gulf drilling sites. At least I saw these colored blocks represented it, and perhaps the map was not giving me the real picture, because you look at plenty of maps and you'll think Alaska is about double the size of Georgia, but it's a third the size of the contiguous. So maybe I'm wrong there, but it looked like it was really far off the coast. I don't know how I feel about that, but I definitely am glad they're not drilling north of Alaska, and that's the part of Alaska that we're talking about. It's like the northern coast of Alaska, in the Arctic region,
So
where
you're
all
against
those.
Arctic drilling?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, sure. I don't want. I don't like the offshore drilling. I feel like that's just so accident prone, especially up in there. I'm okay with it. In the Gulf Coast.
See, I
you know,
like Alaskan drilling. I'm nervous about
so far away.
that's kind of it. Like it sounds crazy, right? But like you know
Other
what?
side of the world.
I was influenced by The West Wing on this. Towards the later seasons, I think the Republican candidate's name is Vinnick, and they have these speeches, and he's like, "Look, I'm for drilling in Alaska." He's like, "If there was," he's like, "Who here thinks Alaska is beautiful?" And everyone raises their hand. He's like, "Who here has been to Alaska?" And nobody raises their hand. And he's like, "That's the thing." He's like, "If there was oil at the bottom of the Grand Canyon, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't touch it. The Grand Canyon is this national monument. It's a great wonder. National Canyon is sacred, and we shouldn't mess with it. But like tundra up in Alaska solves energy problems in America." And I'm also of the belief that like when we find local energy sources, we kind of unfund terrorism. We there's like a military and security problem that if we can be self-sufficient, that we solve. Like a lot of good things happen from there. I just don't value Alaskan tundra as highly as I do, say, the coast of New Jersey or Georgia or Massachusetts. It's like if you want to have some sort of energy independence, of course, renewable stuff is the bee's knees, right? That's the top of the line. But if we're living in a world where cars still run on gas, Alaskan tundra, my ears are open. Let's hear your case.
Well, specifically, I think the offshore drilling, right, and like the Arctic, where the polar bears and fucking all the cute stuff is, and I really like those critters. I do. There was a time when I said something like, I don't care if you have to grind the snow owls up to make it. If you can get me $1 gasoline, do it. I think that was my literal quote. But it's
that's PKAs.
It's settled at $2 a gallon gasoline isn't so bad. Let's save a few owls and stuff. But there's right ways to do stuff and wrong ways to do stuff. That's why I fear that EPA guy just a bit, because they're not going to slow down on any pipelines or any fracking under that gentleman. And I just hope I hope we don't see the negatives of it, and 4 years from now and go, look at this section of Texas where none of the water is any good anymore. Look at this section of Pennsylvania where this fire has been burning for the last 2 years because they couldn't cap the oil well or whatever disaster comes of it. Look at all these dead polar bears. Look at all these dead people. Maybe because of a lax regulation on a drilling platform. I don't know. I hope none of that happens. We all want cheap energy and clean water and clean air, but you got to find a balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I am too. I feel like we're all in the middle somewhere, just close to the middle.
Yeah,
it's so complicated. I don't know enough about the drilling to even have it's so complicated the way they do it. It's like, okay, so if you go up and do it right there, it's gonna be fine. Oh yeah, it should be fine. It's gonna be fine. Well, it should probably be fine. Well, I mean, 90% sure it's going to be fine. What'd you base that on? I mean, we're pretty positive, we took a survey on SurveyMonkey, and we all are agreed that 90% is going to be fine. It's like, well, shit.
Have no fear. We checked the little "I am not a robot" button. We made sure they're going to
captcha. We typed in bubbly boats in the weird syllables or whatever, and then but it's so complicated. It's hard. I don't know. You want to say, just like with everything, you want to be able to take a quick stance on it and be like, yeah, I'm in favor, or no, get rid of all that. But the point about the Grand Canyon thing resonates with me. That makes a lot of sense. If it's if real close to Mount Rushmore, they wanted to fuck with it, but they're like, well, the geology, it might just shatter off one of the faces. Who knows? No, that's hits too close to home. It's really easy though to say I'm fine with it for the Alaskan tundra when it's people can be tasked to go find that oil rig and they're not going to. They'll die of freezing to death before they get there.
And it's also easy to write it off as Alaskan tundra too. Fuck, man, Alaska's so goddamn big that two different sides of my state of Georgia are completely different. One end is full of swamps, the other end is full of mountains, right? Like yeah, in North Georgia is the Smoky Mountains, South Georgia is the Okefenokee Swamp. Look at a state like 12 times bigger in Alaska, and it's even more so. There are gorgeous parts of Alaska, and then there's shitty, stupid parts that, yeah, maybe we could drill the fuck out of and nobody would care. I need studies, right? I need to know the environmental impact from a third-party independent organization. I need short-term, mid-term, and long-term. I need to know what's happening in 1 year, 5 years, and 30 years. If we're going to disrupt the migration of the caribou in such a way that now the predators can't feed in like a quarter of Alaska, then shit, we just fucked up.
Okay. You case the store. We go to Sarasota. You don't go to a bad neighborhood. You go to a good neighborhood, obviously. You want to go where the people are. But in my robberies, they had to be in a plaza. They had to be in an area where there was a lot of traffic. The more traffic, to me, the better. Obviously, then you case it. How do you case it? You go to morning, night, and day. I'm there before anybody fucking gets there. I know their fucking cars. They make so many mistakes. Every one of them, they never stagger people coming in or out. They all come to usually the time, give or take. They're always the same time every day. And you know where they park their cars, so they're easy to follow. You know who's in there, so you're going to know who the employees are. You know when the trash is coming. You know when their mailman's coming, they have them waiting for them. And everything they do is very predictable. So sure enough, Sarasota, Florida, I do one. And actually, it's near a dive shop, like scuba diving. You know, like 2 down from the scuba dive, but it was good enough. So it was 3 of us. So I go in, I take the guy down, I get my guys in the store. They start working. One cabinet, the other cabinet. Now I tied up whoever's already down. When I say I do it, when I walk in, they think they know who I am. I wait until they're between cabinets because they have buzzers all over the place. So if they hit a buzzer, it's an alarm. So I know. They even have buzzers in their pocket, even back then, meaning it was like a keychain, and they could be able to hit it. And that's how they would open the door for people on a buzzer, but it also had an alarm buzzer on it. So I knew all this. So I'd wait till they're at the right spot. They think I'm good, normal. I'd jump up, get down, motherfucker! Gun and fucking in their face. I would transform in 2 seconds, and the guy's on the floor, back. I got slip ties, cuffs, done. He's done. And I never gagged anybody. I didn't want anybody to gag or throw up and get hurt. And he's done. Now he's done. I just tell him, close your eyes. Don't look at or face his head towards the wall. Or if he's close enough, I said, don't you move. You fucking move. They knew it. Never moved, never did it. They guys are in, open the door. If it had a buzzer, I would buzz them in. If it didn't, they would know. They'd go by. And they're looking like normal people. You know, they're not looking bad. The key is never be conspicuous. You know, like in South Florida, Haitian drivers, they always fucking go 5 miles an hour below the speed limit, and they're fucking in the left lane. They can't fucking drive. They're conspicuous. You know it right there. Don't be that guy. Do things normal, whatever it is. You know, whatever you were going to do, you do know. If they would get in, I'd have their assignments already beforehand because I knew the store. You get the right shelf, all the fucking shelves. You get the left shelves. I'll get the safe and keep an eye on him and get the office where a lot of certain stuff is.
So you're cleaning them out. You're getting everything that's on display, and you're going
everything. When I left the store, they sold the whole store.
You ever get the wallets too? You ever go like the Pulp Fictions? Like go and give me your wallet too.
No. You know, matter of fact, that I'm gonna tell you that robbery about a guy. I called them out and they left. So we're in this robbery. So obviously doing a robbery. These 2 old people. They're trying to pull the door. You know, once they do this, I'm still in a suit and tie. You can't tell. I do have the white gloves. So I go over to the door, open the door. No, open the door. They come in.
You bring them in?
Take my gun. And I say, you're in a fucking robbery. The lady goes, huh? I said, no. I says, no, you're good. Just come with me. I brought him in the back. I didn't tie him up, didn't do a thing. I said, just look at the wall. I said, this guy was a bad guy, so we had to rob him. But just look at the wall. So they look at the wall. Now we're getting ready to go. My moron, I had a guy with me since dead, but it's Jimmy. He fucking goes around. We're ready at the back door. We give him the signal to bring the car around to the back. Dump the fucking pillowcases in the car and we're gone. So this moron comes around, doesn't see us quick, and goes back around the front. Now we're waiting, the door open back there. I'm like, I get so mad. I close the fucking door. I go up to the two players. I'm just testing you. Don't move. I told you got to wait 5 minutes. Plus, I didn't do shit. You know, I'm not testing anybody. And fucking, I go to the front. I go, come on. And then he goes, and we get in the car and we go. And, but those two old people were interviewed by the newspaper. Next day they go, oh, he was a nice man. Just robbed the place $800. But he's
See,
a
that
nice
makes
man.
so much more sense to me because why give that witness a reason to like because the cops are going to say, hey, could you come in and give us a statement about that thing you saw? And if they're holding a grudge against you because you put your hands on his wife, he'll fly across the country if you had been rude, maybe just a little bit too rude to his wife. He'd have been drawing sketches himself.
No, that's true. That is true. But it wasn't even that. Like, I robbed the store in Sunrise, Florida, and this gets crazy. I end up running. So many people came into the store, kind of the same setup, but people are coming in, and I'm fucking flex cuffing them. I had the total with the 3 employees. I had 10 fucking people tied up. I ran out of flex cuffs. I used to have them for the I used to have them for the feet and the hands. So I stopped putting them on the feet after. So I said, wait a minute, you got rock up? No, we don't have any because we only carried so many, you know.
Yeah.
So this one guy was mounting off in there, and he's tied up, and I'm like, what the fuck is this guy? A cop? It's in my head, you know. Is he a cop? What the fuck is going on? What is he doing? So I walk up to him, I look at him, and he's looking at me. I grab his wallet. That's what triggered that. Maybe when you said wallet. I want to see if he's a cop. Not. I took his ID, just drew it, didn't do anything with it. Then I took his bracelet, and I never took jewelry off anybody in the store, even the owners or anybody. You know what I mean? I didn't take a woman's ring off. I'm not a good guy. Not that somebody's ring wasn't in there getting fixed. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do it off a person. But so I take this guy's bracelet off. You know, to go. Remember the Dick Gold they had? It was a Fugazi. You know, Fugazi. I fucking looked at him and said, "You piece of shit, motherfucker! What are you doing?" The fucking girls in the counter started cracking up. The fucking girls were cracking up, man. They fucking were funny as shit, the girls. So they must have been a jerk off, you know what I mean, to them or somebody or whatever. Because they
probably wanted to laugh at any jokes you might be telling because you did have a gun and they were tied up.
No, this guy was
you could have done a Type 5 and killed
see how funny he is with a rifle.
You know, what's the thing about revolvers these days?
You know,